Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we'll be talking about the film John Wick Chapter 4. Fun fact, the King of Jordan lent the director of this movie a helicopter so that they could access a location for a shot. This film came out in 2023 and stars Keanu Reeves, Bill Skarsgard, and Donnie and was directed by Chad Stahelski. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. John Wick Chapter 4 sees John Wick ready to exact revenge on the High Table with the goal to take it down. A new senior member of the High Table, the Marquis, uses all the resources he can to find and attempt to take down John Wick. John must figure out how to make it out alive and what he really wants after he succeeds. John Wick is a high-stakes action film. It has similar vibes to Deadpool, Kill Bill, or Atomic Blonde. This is the fourth installment in the John Wick franchise, and I feel like the films started off strong and have progressively gotten better. When I watched this film, I felt like I stepped in for an action-filled ride. There are some great new characters, and I really enjoyed this movie. I just love when they say ex-communicado in these films. I just feel like saying that to people in the midst of an argument. You are ex-communicado. First of all, I do have to say rest in peace to Lance Reddick. He plays Sharon in the John Wick films, and he gets killed pretty early on in this film, but he had been a staple in all of the films and passed the week leading up to the release of the film. He was an amazing actor, and his character was one character in the films who genuinely seemed like a nice person, even though he was secretly really good with guns. Lance was a great actor, and he will be missed. Keanu Reeves is the only person I can see that could play John Wick. I would say that he is John Wick, but I don't think Keanu is actually an assassin who goes around killing people around the world. He plays John in a way that makes you feel sympathy for him, even though he did just kill 40 people. John Wick is a pretty calm man who really only seems to attack when provoked, and once provoked, he will kill you. I was sad that the character died, but I was happy that Keanu stepped into this role and took us for a ride. I love how John Wick sometimes feels like a video game character. There were two falls that he took in this film that would have killed any normal person, but not John Wick. He could just walk it off. It may seem ridiculous, but it fits in this movie that we're watching. Donnie was great as Kane. He is a blind assassin who is friends with John Wick, and I love how he doesn't let people try to kill John in a shady way and reminds people that he will do it. He is an excellent assassin who people may doubt because of his blindness, but soon after, they end up dead. He is very resourceful and even helped John make it to the final duel so that they can settle this properly. I was mad that they used his daughter to blackmail him, which caused the death of so many people, including his old friend Shimazu, which left his daughter understandably angry. Kane was a formidable foe and an outstanding ally, and I look forward to seeing if Akira actually kills him in the future. This was Rina Samayama'S first role, and I was pretty impressed by her acting and fighting abilities as Akira. Her character story is left open at the end of the film, so I'm hoping that she comes back, but I love how she was not going down without a fight, and she fought hard. Rina also did a song for the film called An Eye for an Eye, which is also great. I'm really glad that we got to see this character come to life, and she was such a badass. Mr. Nobody is a character that I was a little confused on what he really wanted. He encouraged the Marquis to raise the price on John's head until it got to a price that he felt was good, but it seemed like throughout the film that he wasn't actually trying to kill him. He ends up aligning himself with John after John saves his dog, which made me wonder even more what was the reason for him coming into the picture in the first place. He is very resourceful and his dog really went for the nuts. I hope he returns because I really do want to learn more about his character. Bill Skarsgard is always great as a villain, so great that when I see him in other roles, I am shocked that he is not the villain. He plays the Marquis, who is a senior member of the High Table and is very arrogant. He really thought that he was going to be the one to take down John Wick, but his arrogance got the best of him and he didn't live to see that. Bill played the character as one who really flaunts his money and power and thinks he's holding all the cards, but fails to realize how deep some of John Wick's loyalties lie. He was great addition to this story, and I love that we see a little bit more of the mysterious high table and how far their reach is. This movie has so much action, which will have you on the edge of your seats. I realize that some of the fight scenes are really long and brutal, but they were fun and you could just sit back and enjoy the film. One scene with lots of action that I thought was hilarious was in the club where John is going after Killa, and John is killing all of these people, and you just see people in the background just dancing and not paying attention. These people clearly had to be on drugs, because how do you not see all of these dead bodies starting to pile up? Speaking of Killa, that man had me thinking that he was weak because he didn't attempt to fight John at first and ran, but then he just stops running and proceeds to give John a pretty good fight. I was shocked because I really underestimated him, but you don't get that high up by not being able to fight. Also, I'm a little confused on why the actor had to wear a fat suit for that character. There's so many locations in this film that were cool to see. We start off in New York, and then we go to Morocco, to Osaka, to Berlin, and to Paris. Each city had its own uniqueness, and I'd love to see how they all differed and added new challenges or advantages for John Wick. My favorite part of this film is when John is at the Osaka Continental and the high table comes looking for him, and all hell breaks loose. Shimazu is the manager there and is played by the talented Hiroyuki Sanada, and he proves Osaka is not to be played with. I love how his fighters mix more traditional weapons like bows and arrows and swords with modern ones like firearms. We get introduced to Akira in this scene, who is Shimazu's daughter, and she really proves that she can hold her own. Kane comes in during this sequence as well, and he is really calm and casually eating soup when the battle starts and is just going on about his day. But once he finishes his soup, he displays why he was chosen for this job. This part of the movie was filled with so much action and really set up how the film was going to progress, while also leaving some breadcrumbs for the future of the franchise. The Osaka Continental does eventually fall, but they do not go down without putting up a great fight. John Wick is a fun action assassin movie. It will have you on the edge of your seat and have you wondering, how's this going to end? The character dies, but the legacy lives on, and I know of 2 spin-offs already in development, so I'm interested to see what the future looks like for the franchise. If you haven't seen John Wick Chapter 4, then I suggest that you go and watch it. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you haven't subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.